let us discuss the structure of a sperm, or you can say a spermatozoon. A spermatozoon is divided into 4 parts: head, neck, middle piece and tail. So we are going to discuss these parts one by one. As you see in the diagram, you see the first part, that is the head. It has an acrosome and a nucleus. So in the posterior part, it has a nucleus and a small anterior acrosome. This acrosome actually contains digestive enzymes. They are hydrolytic enzymes. These enzymes are the ones which are going to help them to penetrate into an ovum or an egg. Okay. So this acrosome is very important because of the presence of digestive enzymes, or you can say hydrolytic enzymes, that help it to penetrate into the ovum. And then head also has nucleus. Now this nucleus contains condensed DNA. Okay. So this DNA is condensed, and it has how many chromosomes? The nucleus contains 23 chromosomes. Remember that in the nucleus there will be 22 autosomes and 1 sex chromosome. So overall we have 23 chromosomes, and these chromosomes, you all know that they are very important because they are carrying the genetic material from the male parent. So this nucleus and acrosome form the head of this sperm. Next we move on to neck. This neck is not being shown over here because neck forms a very small region. So I can just demonstrate you here that this portion is the neck region of the sperm. What does this neck region contains? It contains 2 centrioles. Okay, these 2 centrioles are very important in the sense, the first centriole, it is going to help in the first cleavage. When we have zygote, we have fertilized egg, the first cleavage is due to this one of these 2 centrioles, and the second centriole is going to help in the formation of an axial filament. We could see one axial filament is going to arise from here and it's going to end up here. So this axial filament is due to the second centriole. Okay, so remember that in the neck region is a very small region. It is important because it has 2 centrioles, and these 2 centrioles are at right angles to each other. Since they are at right angles to each other, one is going to help in the cleavage, in the first cleavage of the zygote, and the second centriole is going to help in the formation of axial filament. Next we move on to the middle piece. The middle piece, or the middle region of this sperm, it is also, you can also call it as collar. It contains lot of mitochondria which is bounded along that axial filament. Now the role of this mitochondria is to generate ATP, to generate energy. Why a sperm needs energy? A sperm needs energy because when it has to pass through the female genital tract and reach the ovum, it is motile. So when it has to move, it needs ATP, that is energy, and this mitochondria provides energy to the sperm. Okay. And remember that this energy is very limited. If a sperm is not able to fuse or to reach the ovum within 24 to 48 hours, this is going to die because of lack of energy. Then we move on to the tail region. This tail region is also known as flagellum. It is mainly composed of the cytoplasm, and this tail region is actually causing the sperm to swim. So it is going to swim and reach the ovum in the female genital tract because of the whip-like movement of this flagellum. Okay. So let us recall this. A spermatozoon has 4 parts: head, neck, middle piece and tail. The head has a nucleus and an acrosome. This acrosome, it has some hydrolytic enzymes or some digestive enzymes which is helping the sperm to penetrate into the egg, and the nucleus contains the genetic material from the male parent. It has 23 chromosomes. How 23 chromosomes? 22 are the autosomes and 1 is the sex chromosomes. Then we have the middle piece. Middle piece contains tightly coiled mitochondria to the axial filament. In the center we have an axial filament. Around that axial filament, mitochondria is tightly coiled. The main function of this mitochondria is to generate ATP, to generate energy. Why a sperm needs energy? It needs energy so that it can reach and penetrate the ovum to fertilize it. Next region is the tail part. This tail is mainly composed of cytoplasm, and sometimes what happens, generally in human, in the mammals, the axial filament is going to be free after this flagellum. So I can draw it like this. If here we have an axial filament, then this is going to be in the entire tail region. Sometimes it ends up free like this. Okay, so around this axial filament, as I told you, in the middle piece we have mitochondria. So here you can demonstrate some mitochondria, and this mitochondria is giving energy to the sperm, and the tail is mainly composed of cytoplasm, and this tail is also known as flagellum. Why flagellum? Because it is going to help the sperm to swim by its whip-like movement. Okay, so the sperm tail is going to help the sperm to be motile, to move and to reach the egg and to fertilize it. So we remember that we have these 4 regions: head, neck, middle piece and tail. In the head we have nucleus and agrosome, in the neck we have 2 centrioles, in the middle piece we have mitochondria which is tightly coiled, and the tail is entirely composed of cytoplasm. It is just going to help the sperm to swim.